So today I want to be jumping in and talking about, the 5 levels of business. And there's more levels, give or take, right? But for me, I like to simplify it down to these 5 levels. I have a lot of people that will reach out and ask, this is what I'm experiencing. How can I navigate this? What do I do next? And I think one of the biggest parts to that is just really understanding where you are, right? Like you have to know where you are if you want to know where you're going to go, right? And so in order to that, it's super important to be able to, remove yourself enough to look at your business and be honest with yourself. I see a lot of business owners that, business is a funny thing, right? It's one of those things where I think that because, society has made it out to be, easy and simple and all of these things, most people embellish where they're at. Most people don't like to be honest about where they're at. And so I want to walk through helping you to understand that, right? Because me personally, right, I remember when, I'm growing my business and I'm trying to take it to the next level. And, I was thinking in my mind, I needed more people, right? Revenue wasn't coming in enough, all these things. So I'm thinking like, how do I get more people in the business? Everything has to have more people. But what I realized it wasn't more people because we didn't need more leads, we need more closes, right? And so it wasn't a more people thing, it was a better systems thing, a better operations thing, a better nurture process, right? But for me, for the longest time, I just kept bringing in more people thinking that was gonna solve the problem, but it doesn't, it just bottlenecks you, right? I see so many young business owners as they're starting out, their first thought is like, I gotta get sales guys. And getting sales guys is obviously a great thing, but if you don't have the systems and the processes to be able to fulfill the things the salespeople are selling, then you're only bottlenecking yourself again. And so if you're a business owner and it's just you or just another sales guy, the next step that you need to make is finding somebody that can be an integrator, finding somebody that can help to support the operations of your business. You have to start looking for somebody that can help you facilitate your operations. And so really level 1, right? Level 1 is this, and it's so relevant to even life, right? They say that about 40% of people are struggling to find food and water, right? So they're literally in survival mode. All right, your business is the exact same, right? When you first started, you're in survival mode. Right? You don't know where your next meal is at. You don't know what you're going to have to do to get money in the door. Right? But you have to understand that. You have to know it's like, hey, right now I'm in survival mode. Right now I have to do everything that I can to be able to grow the business, to be able to progress. Right? It's not going to be, I got to go higher. And it's like, no, you have to learn how to survive for yourself first, because then you can start to build people. Right? And so that level 1 is this survival. It's the hustle. It's the grind. Right? Well, then that next kind of level 2 becomes a providing level. Right? It's like, all right, well, you've established something, right? You've been able to build something that's bringing in revenue. Now you're providing value to others. You're bringing other people in your business, and this business can start to provide for other people. Now, the funny thing about that is once you get to that level, that next level is that you have to start to position yourself in the business as the authority. Right? I made the mistake in my business when I was young, where like I didn't want to have hard conversations. I didn't want to have confrontation, right? Because I didn't want people to leave me. I didn't want somebody to, me try to bring up something to somebody, and next thing you know, they're pissed and they run out. And it's like, I needed people, because if I didn't have the people in the business, then the revenue wasn't coming in. Now I'm back to survival again, right? And so you have to start to put yourself as the authority in your business, because people want to work with people. They don't want to work with businesses. And it's no different than recruiting, right? Like the people that are coming to work for you aren't just coming to work for you because they want to do roofing, right? They're coming to work with you because of you. They could go anywhere they want. And so that level 3 is that you have to kind of become, the man, right? You have to start to step out. You've got to be the example. You got to be the person that people are following and the person that people want to follow, right? But then as you're going and you're progressing through that, the next step is now you have to start to systemize your business, right? Level 4 is creating systems and processes inside of your business to make the business more efficient and make the business scalable, Right? So one, you're surviving. You got to hustle. You got to grind. Right? Two, you're providing. I think the business is actually starting to become self-sustainable. Three, you got to start to put yourself as that authority. You got to be that position in the business that people are looking up to you. But this level here is a difficult level, because guess what? Leadership is caught, not taught. You can sit there and tell everybody what they got to do. You can sit there and do all these things, but until you show them, then they don't know what to do. So at this level 3, you really have to make sure that you are the one that's being the example. You are the one that they're watching, they're following, right? Because you're guiding them. As you hit level 4, it's systems and processes, right? Start to look back through your business and say, where are we losing, right? Where are we losing money? Where are we losing opportunity? Where are we losing clients? Right? You have to start to dissect the business and start to think about, where are your constraints inside the business, right? And 9 times out of 10, that's going to come down to a system and a process, right? Because at the end of the day, we can always go find more people to bring into our business, but it doesn't matter about bringing more in if you don't have the system to support it. So that level 4 is that, like, you've got to start going back through and you've got to make SOPs. Right? You've got to have those standardized processes that everybody starts to follow, because now you have to bring people in and train people, right? You don't want that constraint or that bottleneck to be education, right? So you have to establish, how does our business move? How does someone get from step 1 to step 5? How does someone go from a non-customer to a happy customer, right? That's all your systems and processes. And then level 5 is going to be leverage, right? Once you've built the system, the process, now it's up to you to start to step back, remove yourself a little bit, and start to gain leverage. Start to show people how to start to be and move like you, right? You have to be able to recruit. You got to be able to you got to be able to educate. You've got to be able to delegate, right? And then you got to be able to remove yourself. Right? That's the process that you have to constantly be thinking of. How can I take this process? How can I innovate it? How can I, help it to, how can I help this process to improve the business and the people around it? Right? And so that level 5 is such an important level, but so often we want to skip. Right? I had a mentor one time, he told me, he said, you can never skip a level, because every level that you skip, you're going to come back to it. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So even if you look at that level 3, right, where it's like, maybe you don't step up, maybe you don't become that man, maybe you don't become the person that people want to work for, but you jump all the way to trying to leverage everything and remove yourself from the business. You're only going to get stuck back in there again. Same thing at level 4, right? Systems and processes. If you don't start to establish those systems and processes and you try to create leverage, you're going to lose the business, right? Or you're going to start to fall off. You're going to hit that constraint. You're going to hit that bottleneck again. And so you have to make sure that each level, you're aware of where you're at. And that's not a bad thing. None of these levels are bad. A 1 isn't better than a 5. A 1 is just different than a 5. A 5 is just different than a 1, right? And so you have to be able to look at your business and know, where am I right now? What am I trying to get to? Am I at a level 1? Am I at level 2? Am I at level 3? Right? And then once you progress on past that, now you can have a clear plan to know exactly where you're going and how you're going to get there, and then the steps that need to be taken to get you there.
Yeah, I appreciate you for watching. Listen, if you found value in this, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. Also, I have a community called the Reckless Group. This is designed for home service CEOs. And so if you have found value in this and you would like to be a part of the community, and then go ahead and click the link in the bio, check out the Reckless Group, and I look forward to seeing you there.